Imagine you're running, not for exercise, not for fun. You're running because something much larger than you is only a few seconds behind. Your feet pound across uneven ground. Sharp rocks cut into your bare skin. Branches whip across your face. Your heart pounds so hard you can hear it. Then, one wrong step. Your foot lands between two loose stones. A loud crack. Pain explodes through your leg. You hit the ground. The world suddenly stops moving. But whatever was chasing you doesn't. Today, breaking a bone is painful. You call an ambulance. Doctors take an x-ray. A cast goes on. A few months later, you're walking again. For most people, a broken bone is temporary. But for an ancient human, it could change everything. Because in a world without hospitals, without painkillers, without surgery, and without anyone guaranteeing your next meal, one broken arm or one broken leg could mean the difference between living and never seeing another sunrise. Or, surprisingly, it might not, because archaeologists have discovered something remarkable. Thousands of years before modern medicine, some ancient humans survived injuries that should have killed them. Broken legs, shattered arms, even crushed skulls. Somehow, they healed, which raises an incredible question. How? How do you survive a broken bone when every day depends on walking, hunting, climbing, carrying wood, building fires, and escaping predators? The answer tells us something extraordinary, not just about ancient medicine, but about what truly made humans different from every other animal. Before you can understand how they survived, you first need to understand what a broken bone actually meant. Imagine waking up tomorrow, unable to stand. Your leg refuses to hold your weight. Every movement sends sharp pain through your body. Now, imagine there are no walls protecting you, no soft bed, no food in the kitchen, no one arriving with medicine, only cold nights, wild animals, and the constant need to keep moving. Ancient humans didn't live in one place forever. Many groups followed animals across enormous landscapes, sometimes walking dozens of miles over several days. If one person suddenly couldn't walk, the entire group faced a difficult decision. Do they slow down? Do they carry the injured person? Or do they leave them behind? For years, many people believed the answer was simple. Nature is cruel. Only the strongest survive. An injured human would have been abandoned. It seems logical. After all, every extra mouth needed food. Every extra kilogram slowed the group. Every delay increased the risk for everyone. But then, archaeologists began uncovering skeletons that completely changed that idea. Skeletons with broken bones that had fully healed, not partially, completely. Some individuals survived for months, even years, after devastating injuries. One prehistoric skeleton discovered in Europe had suffered a badly broken leg. The bone healed, but not perfectly. The person would have walked with a noticeable limp for the rest of their life, yet they lived long enough for the injury to fully recover. Another ancient human survived severe damage to an arm that would have made hunting almost impossible. Someone must have helped. Someone gathered food. Someone protected them. Someone waited while the bone slowly healed. That changes everything because it suggests that long before cities, long before written language, long before civilization itself, humans had already developed something incredibly powerful, compassion. And that may have been one of the greatest survival tools our species ever evolved. Because sometimes the strongest tribe wasn't the one with the fastest hunters, it was the one that refused to leave its weakest members behind. But surviving the injury was only the beginning. The real challenge started after the bone broke. The first few hours were the most dangerous. The pain was immediate, sharp, overwhelming. Every small movement sent another wave through the body. If the broken bone pierced the skin, the danger became even greater. Today, Doctors call it an open fracture. Without treatment, bacteria can enter the wound, causing deadly infections. Ancient humans didn't understand germs, but they understood something just as important. Dirty wounds often meant death. So the first priority wasn't fixing the bone, it was surviving the injury. The wound had to be cleaned, not with antiseptic, not with alcohol, but with the cleanest water they could find. Some researchers believe certain plants may have also been used to help reduce pain or inflammation. We don't know exactly which remedies every group relied on, but traditional hunter-gatherer societies around the world have long used leaves, bark, roots, and natural resins to treat injuries. It's likely that some of this knowledge stretches back thousands of generations. Then came the hardest part: keeping the injured person still. That sounds simple until you remember they had no casts, no braces, no metal plates, no screws holding the bone together, only whatever nature provided. Straight branches, flexible vines, animal hide, strong plant fibers. These simple materials could be tied around an injured arm or leg to keep it from moving too much. Not perfect, but sometimes good enough. Because the human body has an incredible ability. If broken bones stay relatively still, they slowly begin repairing themselves. Within days, blood gathers around the fracture, forming a protective clot. Soon after, soft tissue begins connecting the broken pieces. Weeks later, that soft bridge slowly hardens into new bone. It's one of the most remarkable healing processes in the human body. Your skeleton is alive. It's constantly rebuilding itself. And after a fracture, it works harder than almost any other tissue. But healing takes time, weeks, sometimes months. Time an injured hunter didn't have, because every sunrise brought another challenge: food, water, warmth, protection. A person with a broken leg couldn't chase deer across open grasslands. They couldn't climb steep rocks. They couldn't run from danger. Instead, they depended on everyone else. Imagine the rest of the group returning from a hunt. They're exhausted, cold, hungry, yet before they eat, someone carries food to the injured person first. Someone helps them sit up. Someone brings water. Another replaces the wooden splint. Children gather extra firewood because one less adult can no longer help. Everyone sacrifices a little, so one person has a chance to recover. That kind of cooperation is rare in nature. Many animals simply can't afford it. A lone wolf with a badly broken leg usually doesn't survive. A gazelle can't ask the herd to carry it. Even powerful predators struggle once serious injuries prevent them from hunting. Humans survived differently, not because we were the fastest or the strongest, but because we helped each other. And perhaps the greatest evidence comes from one extraordinary discovery. Archaeologists have found prehistoric skeletons belonging to elderly individuals who suffered serious injuries earlier in life. Some had lost teeth, others had permanent disabilities, yet they survived for decades afterward. That means they weren't just cared for during an emergency. They remained valuable members of their communities. Maybe they taught children, made tools, shared stories, remembered safe hunting routes. Knowledge became just as important as physical strength, and that may have changed the course of human history. Because once experience became worth protecting, every older survivor made the entire group smarter. A broken bone no longer meant the end. Sometimes, it became the beginning of something even more important: the realization that every person still had something to give. Eventually, the pain faded. Not completely, but enough to think about something other than survival. The bone was beginning to heal, slowly, almost invisibly. Day after day, new bone formed around the break. The body quietly repaired itself. It asked for nothing, only time. But time was the one thing ancient humans could never guarantee. Every morning, the group still had to hunt, still had to gather food, still had to avoid predators. Life didn't stop because one person was injured. It simply became harder for everyone. And yet, again and again, the archaeological evidence tells the same story. Many groups chose to help anyway. That decision may seem ordinary today, but in the prehistoric world, it was extraordinary, because caring for someone who couldn't immediately contribute meant accepting a short-term cost for a long-term benefit, and humans became incredibly good at making that choice. Perhaps that's what truly separated us from many other species. Not sharper teeth, not stronger muscles, but the ability to imagine someone else's future, to believe if we help them today, they may help us tomorrow. That simple idea changed everything. A healed hunter could hunt again. A healed parent could protect children again. A healed elder could pass on decades of experience. Helping one person wasn't charity, it was an investment in the survival of the entire group. Over thousands of generations, those acts of cooperation became part of who we are. You can still see echoes of them today. When someone slips on the sidewalk, people run to help. When disaster strikes, strangers donate food, blood, and shelter to people they've never met. When a child falls, adults instinctively reach out before thinking. Those reactions aren't modern inventions, they're ancient instincts. Instincts shaped by countless generations who survived because helping each other worked. Even your own skeleton tells the same story. Place your hand on your arm. Beneath your skin is living bone. If it ever breaks, specialized cells immediately begin rebuilding it, removing damaged tissue, creating new bone, making it stronger than before. Your body still carries the same remarkable healing ability that helped your ancestors survive tens of thousands of years ago, but the body could never do it alone. Healing a broken bone has always required something else: protection, patience, and people. When archaeologists uncover an ancient skeleton with a perfectly healed fracture, they're not just discovering a broken bone, they're discovering evidence of kindness, evidence that someone stayed, someone shared their food, someone waited, someone refused to leave another human behind. That invisible story never fossilized, but the healed bone did. And sometimes, a single healed bone tells us more about humanity than an entire battlefield ever could. So the next time you see a cast on someone's arm, or watch someone slowly learning to walk again after an injury, remember this: the medicine may be modern, the hospital may be modern, but the instinct to protect the injured is far older than civilization itself. It reaches back through thousands of generations to small campfires, dark caves, and ancient families who discovered that survival was never just about strength, it was about standing together, especially when one of you could no longer stand at all.